Hey, how's it going, everyone? Real quick before this video starts, I do want to say that I have a Spotify playlist that I'll link in the description. As you can see, there's a lot of Linkin Park, 3 Days Grace. So if you like rock music like I do, then that'll be in the description that you can check out. And also, there is a new outro. So, let me know what you think of that in the comments. I think it's much better than my previous one. But, of course, it's always nice to hear other people's opinions. So, on with the video. Hi, everyone. Hello. I know that I've put this off for a little bit. So this is the second part to the end of 2020 stuff. I don't want to do this. I mean, I do and I don't. I do because I want to see how far I've come since the days of old, like 7 months ago. And I don't want to do it because I know this video is bad. This is like my fourth try recording this. It's just been one thing after another. But let's do this. Alright, so you can see the quality thumbnail that I made. I spent so much time making. I spent like 20 seconds on MS Paint. Just nitpicking now. Let's just do this.
Hello everyone, and welcome to my first video, where today I'm going to be playing some Plague Inc.
Couple things I notice. I don't like my voice. I never do, but my voice is super high pitched. Or well, not super high pitched, but it's fairly high pitched in this video, at least compared to my voice now. I'm talking very quiet in this video. I mean, I always kind of talk quiet unless, everybody gets a little bit loud sometimes, but I was talking especially quiet, like on the verge of whispering. And I doubt you'll be able to see this, but I can. This video is super pixelated. Like, it doesn't look good. Like, you can check the original video. I'm not going to link because I kind of don't want you to check. But if you really want to, you can go and check the original video and see what I'm talking about. Anyway.
Evolved with the bacteria. Kind of just going through what I use for brutal or mega brutal, and what strategies should work for you. So first of all, what I like to use most of the time, it depends on the disease type, as you may expect. For the bacteria, I like to use the catalytic switch with genetic mimic, aquasite and extremophile. These two I most of the time don't change, and I like the symptostasis.
So just gonna pause for a minute here. Why am I talking like that? I mean, I know at that time I was really into Plague Inc. and I was watching this one YouTuber like Provis or something. If I find him, I'll link him in the description. I might not remember correctly. And I think I was trying to talk like him, but why? You don't talk like someone else, just talk like you normally do.
As well for the bacteria, although you could make an argument for transstasis.
I like that, giving them options.
If you like to go at a little bit of a slower pace and then completely explode. But for my strategy, symptostasis works much better. So I'm going to be just selecting brutal today, but this strategy should work for mega brutal. As
if it works for mega brutal, then prove it works for mega brutal. Don't play on brutal. Okay, continue.
I've beaten the bacteria on mega brutal, and this strategy worked just fine. But if you want a little bit of an easier time for yourself, then just go on brutal or mega brutal. And if you don't,
there's a bunch of little things in this video you'll notice are off, like a little bit, like grammatical errors. Like if you want an easier time, then go on brutal or mega brutal. It's ridiculous. Anyway, just nitpicking now.
Don't have those genes.
I'm gonna keep doing that.
Then I recommend just play a a lot of games with
know
the
I will.
bacteria just on casual until you get all of the genes. That's what I did. So now I have a much easier time in Brutal and Mega Brutal playthroughs. But let's continue. So, I don't know if I like that name.
What are you talking about? That name was excellent. Come on. I know I liked that name. I just didn't want to admit it on YouTube. That name is glorious.
Bulging Madness. I like that. Welcome to Plague Inc. Select start location. Some of you may know this, but I like to start in Saudi Arabia.
I still like to start in Saudi Arabia.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to go up to speed 3, and we're going to wait until we have 9 points. Because the first thing we're going to do is pick up insect.
That was when I had the Cherry MX Blue keyboard, the really loud one. I remember that now. Oh my god. That keyboard was awesome. It was just not good for content creation. It was very loud.
Act 1. And then we're going to kind of go from there.
I don't like that I was kind of quiet there. I couldn't think of anything.
We've got 9 points here. Let's pick up the insect one.
Okay.
As Saudi Arabia is a hot country. And then we're going to wait for 10 more DNA points and go for the air one, as it's also an arid country. Kind of helps spread us through Saudi Arabia a little bit more, as it is arid, and a couple of the places around it, especially in the Sahara Desert, are hot and arid.
Okay, that's good. That's smart.
And then we're going to go for birds, just to kind of help spread us through this, help us spread through land transmission a little bit. And if a place does close off their borders, then the birds can help with that.
It's also just good for getting over political borders and like physically drawn borders, so they can birds, they can fly over anything they want without consequence, really, or without anything stopping them. So that's another reason why birds are good.
And I would also recommend, don't just instantly devolve any symptoms you grab.
Yeah, that's still smart.
It doesn't matter if you get spotted very, very early, as usually when you just first get spotted, the only country that works on the cure for you is your starting country. And for us, Saudi Arabia isn't super rich in this game, at least, as you can see from
they're not super rich in real life either.
the little hexagons down here. This is arid, this is hot.
And another thing, it sort of kind of matters if you get spotted early. I mean, you don't want to get spotted right out of the gate, but if you get spotted with like 3 million people infected, or like 15 million, then that's not a huge deal.
So, looks like we just got into Japan, so I'm going to actually switch this up a little bit. I'm going to go for some drug resistance first, so we spread a little bit easier in Japan, as it is a rich country.
I like the amount of depth that I'm going. Like, the amount of depth that I have so far, that's good.
Now we're starting to get into a lot more countries in the Middle East, which is good. So we're starting our spread now. So again, we're going to wait till 14 points, and we're going to pick up birds. And this is all of the transmission that I really get.
I don't agree with that anymore. I like to get water 1 and 2 as well, and then that'll usually be all that I get. Okay, continue.
For a while, unless the ships get the sterilizing.
That is a concern.
Routines. Then I do pick up the water. As you can see here, we're spreading just fine with all of the.
That's why I love Saudi Arabia,
just
man.
Picked up.
Also, you're spreading just fine to places that have airports and that aren't usually concerns. That's why you're spreading just fine. What about when the islands with just a seaport are left? Greenland, Caribbean, and like New Guinea and a bunch of other ones. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
We're still spreading just fine. So I find if you want to save the most amount of DNA points, just go for that many
That's true. But
transmission abilities. So now we're going to come into the actual abilities tab, pick up 2 levels of cold resistance as we just got into Iceland. And I want to see if I can get into Russia soon. Just want to get into Turkey, USA, Brazil. So yeah, we just got spotted and we've almost infected the entirety of Saudi Arabia.
spotted with only 59 million.
So yeah, now
infected.
only Saudi Arabia
That's not that
is
bad,
working
actually.
on the cure, and we're only a minor disease because
Providing evidence for my claim, that's good.
we only have a couple of symptoms. We're actually going to pick up the pneumonia and the sneezing.
I don't know why I picked up pneumonia most of the time. I just do the 3 that I'm about to get: rash, sweating, and then lesions, I think.
Rash,
Yeah, rash, sweating, and skin lesions, yeah.
just sweating and skin lesions, just so we can build up to that necrosis once we get into every country. I'm going to pick up the anemia
Still agree
and
with
some
that.
nausea just to get a little bit more severity so that we get more DNA from those red biohazard bubbles.
I think I grabbed a little
we
bit too many
infected a
symptoms. I
country.
would have grabbed drug resistance
Just got
2
into
and
Korea.
genetic hardening.
Sudan.
That's what's from Mega Brutal, though.
So now they're starting to shut down airports. Now that we're spreading a lot more, they're starting to shut down their airports. So let's pick up drug resistance level 2 and some genetic hardening.
There we go.
Spreading into more countries. Now, as we can see here, now we're only missing a couple of countries: the Caribbean, New Guinea, and the Philippines, as well as Greenland. Those are the main ones that I'm concerned about.
Those are the main ones I'd be concerned about, too.
But they shouldn't close down their ports yet, as we're not too severe. Okay, just got to New Guinea. We just need the Philippines. I want to spread faster in Russia, so now I'm going to pick up 2 levels of livestock, because this is the point in the game where you want to start tailoring to the places.
In Brutal, that's the point in the game where you want to tailor to places once. Livestock helps you spread through Russia, yes. But in Mega Brutal, you don't have the points to do that because of the genetic drift and all that stuff. Like, usually once you get to about 1 billion, that's when genetic drift really starts to kick in for anything you don't have stasis for. So, for example, that's why I do symptostasis, because symptoms, for me, come near the end.
That you don't have infected yet. So now they're starting to work on that cure a little bit faster now. Starting to work on that cure a little faster. We're going here, yeah. Now,
Oh, China, UK, and
China,
Japan.
UK, and,
that does
and
not surprise me.
Japan are working on the cure mainly. That doesn't surprise me at all. We're going to pick up the 2nd level of genetic hardening.
I'm really glad that didn't surprise me. I would be very concerned if that didn't surprise me.
These are all the symptoms that we're going to pick up for a little while. Actually, I just lied. We're going to go for hypersensitivity and abscesses. Just get a little bit more infectivity. And Russia and Norway. The reason why I wanted Russia and Norway so bad, if we're just gonna pause here for a second, is because Russia and Norway are both the main way that you can get into Greenland.
That's true. In the game, anyway.
And we did get into every single country as soon as I saw the Caribbean has closed down their seaport. I got a little terrified. But we're okay.
I got lucky in this playthrough.
So now what we're gonna do is we have 117 DNA points. We're gonna pick up the necrosis, the immune suppression that leads to total organ failure,
That's gonna
hemorrhagic shock,
get 'em.
inflammation, seizures, insanity.
Just really
So
give
now-
it to him. Jesus.
And now we just let this lethality carry us through the rest of the game. Now since we have that necrosis, we will be able to spread even while we're killing people, so we don't have to worry about being too lethal. Then
That's true. Necrosis is awesome.
infectious. Because we picked necrosis, the dead are now able to be infected.
Look at Greenland's about to
And
pop.
corpses
Oh
are
my
still
God.
infectious. Just like the bubonic plague or the Black Death. So now,
Okay.
all that we have left to do, now that almost everyone is dead,
Holy crap, only 38% cure progress.
we're going to pick up some genetic reshuffles to buy us some more score. As you can see, it went up by about 4, should go down.
27% cure on a brutal playthrough with
About
is
3.
this gonna be?
So, we went fairly quick, as it's 2020, so 2021 is still fairly quick. And 28% cure progress. Look.
535 days. That's I've gotten faster on a Mega Brutal playthrough, but cure progress 28%. That's pretty good, and 4 stars.
At that, 4 stars on brutal difficulty. So, as far as I can tell, this strategy should still work just fine for Mega Brutal as well as Brutal. So, but it might take a few tries, because
Pretty much any strategy, as long as you get lucky enough with the islands, pretty much any strategy that's not completely ridiculous works. So as long as you're smart about your genes and what you're grabbing, then you'll be fine for Mega Brutal on the bacteria.
sometimes the genetic drift in Mega Brutal can kind of screw you over. And you could be unlucky with the mutations. There's a lot of things that can go wrong with Mega Brutal.
That's true.
But if you just want to go for Brutal, then easy. Alright, so
Yeah.
that does it for this video. If you like what you see, please toss me some love. And I'll see you
I'm glad I stopped doing that.
guys in the next video.
Alright, well, I never want to watch that video again. I'm really sad that I had to do this 4 times. So overall, I still think it isn't the worst video on my channel, and that's really surprising, but it's definitely up there. But I mean, it was my first video that I did that I actually kind of took seriously. I started a couple of YouTube channels before, like any person in this day and age does, just to experiment, right? But I think this is the only channel that I've taken this far, and this is the only channel that I've stuck with this long. So I think so far, in my opinion, I've come a long way, or at least I've improved. I've improved from that piece of garbage, as you can see in the remade version of this video that I did about a week ago. You can check that out if you want. Overall, this wasn't that bad. It was fun to see. No, it wasn't. Anyway, that's gonna be all for this video, guys. If you want to see me play some games live, check out my Twitch channel. If you want to see me tweet about stupid things, then check out my Twitter. And if you like what I do here, then hit the subscribe button. And if you like this video in particular, for some reason, then you can hit the like button. Feel free to tell me what I can do better in my later videos in the comments, or tell me what I did well and fuel my ego. Thank you all for watching this video.